I think we're live. Jim, unmute mics. Unmute the mics. Can anybody? Can you all
I
hear
hear
us?
you, Josh.
There we go. Okay.
And I think
amazing.
And you sound
amazing.
like a
amazing. All right, we did it. Listen, we're here on a Tuesday. Josh McCouga, Jeff Kanata is not here. Patrick Dees is here. I'm not going to start the show with welcome, because I don't have that in me. I'm not Jeff Kanata. There's a significant amount of energy and unique energy that takes. And that is reserved for Thursdays, Dees. That is reserved for Thursdays, because on a Tuesday, we are not doing it.
No, it is definitely big Thursday energy. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like, I think it seems inappropriate to scream welcome on a Tuesday of all things.
It does.
So
it does.
I get it.
It's a weird day, Tuesday. It's a weird day. But listen, well, we're on the front page of Twitch. Thanks to Guest Star Week. Guest Star Week is back. Listen, if you're going to be a guest star somewhere, you're going to want to do it on Twitch, okay? Listen, we've all been guest stars on TV shows, okay? You might remember me from such movies as We Own the Night. Okay.
Okay, Troy McClure.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And Enchanted. Yeah. Okay. I've been extras in those movies. You have seen my face. Okay. It's a young, haired man at that point. But they just came out with a new Enchanted on Disney Plus, D's. And the shot that they use to promote the new one, I am like just cut off. I'm just cut off in that one.
I really love how you kind of conflate the word guest star and extra, two radically different things when it comes to Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, dudes. I didn't have a line. Oh, I didn't say words. That's on me. That's on me.
I mean, an extra, incredible. My God, it's Tuesday, dude. Can you believe
it's Tuesday?
Excited to be doing a show with you today. We thought we'd get in a holiday Thanksgiving special, if you will. We can't. Obviously, we're going to be with our families on Thursday, so we had a lot to be grateful for, and excited to talk to you about all that stuff today.
Yeah, you know, it's as we've done in the past couple of years. If you've been a fan of the show since day one, we really appreciate you. We're thankful for all of you. Capuego says Makuga is deaf extra. Yeah, I'll
100%. Yeah, that's the right answer.
We've done some like thankful videos that we've posted, but nobody has. Hey, listen, we're here. We can go live. Jim Afro, our producer, technical director, has been so awesome in getting us some front page promotion. Thanks to Guest Star. This is Guest Star Week on Twitch. If you're a guest star and you're not on Guest Star Week, what the hell are you doing?
If you're an extra on Twitch,
yeah. If you were on an episode of ER in 1999 and you're not on Guest Star,
is it true?
Twitch, what are you doing? No, 99. I was still in high school.
I know, but look, we've established this many times. Every single time I have a conversation with you, I learned something about you that I didn't know before, and that is unique to Josh McCouga. On a long enough timeline, we've been friends for 5-6 years. On a long enough timeline, you know the big beats of people's lives. Maybe not all of the details, but kind of the broad strokes. Every single time you say something that blows my goddamn mind, you're like, yeah, I was pulled straight out of high school. They needed this specific look for ER. You came in and did the resuscitation thing 5 or 6 times. You intubated, and then you walked off.
Well, they used to call me Doogie McCougie. So
they used to. I'm bringing it back.
Doogie
McCougie in my phone, my friend.
I'll tell you something you don't know about me. This morning, I had to run out. I'm making every year. One of our traditions, I don't know if it's every Italian household, but in our household is you make Italian wedding soup for Thanksgiving. It's the soup you have before the meal. And it's delicious. It's my grandma's recipe, my great-grandma's recipe. It's unbelievable. Well, I made it for my wife's family last year, and it has been requested again. So I had to run to the grocery store, and right before the season 2.0 of Fan Controlled Football, I moved out to the country. I'm a ranch guy now.
Yeah, you are.
And so, I have a cowboy hat. I have a wax jacket. I go to bars.
Boots are a bit much.
The boots are a bit much. Wait till you see our holiday photos, which we took yesterday.
Oh my God, I can't wait.
A bit extra, these.
Can't wait.
So, living out here in the country, we have a ton of turkeys. We have a ton of turkeys. Okay. And
you mean wild turkeys? You mean literally
turkeys.
Roaming the land? There's not a surplus at Safeway. You are just seeing. God damn, that is an ugly bird. Okay, there's roaming free-range turkeys. Please tell me you just
free range
off.
Correct. So, what happened was, and Freddie Airmail, I'm thankful for Josh and Dees. Thank you, Freddie Airmail. It's great to see you. Boykin Friend VP, Grandma always got the best recipe. He's right. Yeah. So I see a huge, I don't know, what do you call them? A flock of turkeys? I don't know that because
I'm
it's like
going with gaggle. A
gaggle of
gaggle,
turkeys,
a
right?
murder of turkeys sounds
Well,
pretty great.
a murder is the
Yeah,
crow, right? The
pretty
murder of
good.
crows.
Yep.
So anyway, so I see this huge group of turkeys, but it's also by a school, and I see kids getting dropped off. So I pull my car over and just run towards these turkeys, like, get back here! I need you for Thursday. And all of these parents, like, were like the kids stopped everything. I was like, hey, inflation's tough. You got to get what you got to get. And
Yeah,
I got back into my car and just drove away. No
man.
answer, no nothing.
You know that people will be talking about that to their friends for years. Then the guy
Yeah.
just pulled over. He screamed at the turkeys, complained about inflation and Joe Biden, and then he got back in the car and drove away. And I never seen him again.
Like, chug some whiskey. Thanks, Obama.
The only time I've actually seen a wild turkey was when I was growing up in high school, and I grew up in Arizona, and,
Yeah.
we went on this like camping trip, northern Arizona, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and like idiots, we brought guns and crossbows and all this
Sure.
shit. And so we're camping, saw a turkey, shot
Yeah.
at it
Okay.
with a shotgun from way too far away. So mortally wounded this thing. It was a terrible thing to do.
Mhm.
Sure enough, the reservation police showed up, and they came in, confiscated all of our weapons, and where it was like illegal to shoot in this area, like 100 yards from a campground, 50 yards from water, 1,000 yards from a sidewalk. I shot on a sidewalk in a campground at the water, like all of the laws possible broken, and then lost my friend's parents' shotgun. So I don't know.
Wow.
I'm sure John Goodman's still upset about it somewhere.
The guy's
Not
name was
great.
John Goodman. You lived with Dan
Correct.
Connor?
John Goodman and Michael Walson were two of my best friends growing up. Yeah, and he's like the John Goodman, and his dad. I don't know. Back in the day when you'd call a household and
Yes.
the house phone would ring, and I would say,
Oh, yeah.
"What's going on, Mr. Goodman? Is John there?" And he'd be like, "Yep." Awesome. That's really great. Could I possibly speak with him? You sure can.
I hated dads like that. I hated dads
now.
like that.
And at the time, I was so uncomfortable. Now I think it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it's
I don't think
amazing.
he went far enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you used to call landlines, and we're aging ourselves right now, but kids these days have it so easy. They can text girls. You don't even have to call them. You
Right.
would have to call a landline, be like, hey, Mr. Brown, is Josh McCouga, is Whitney there? He's like, yeah, she's here.
Yeah.
I was wondering if I might be able to talk to her. Not right now. She'll call you
Yeah.
back. Click. I'm like, oh, God. I tried. I really tried.
But don't you think that skill set has served you later in life? You were
Absolutely.
forged in the fires of talking to girls' fathers.
Yes.
Nothing scares us now. All
Freddie
these
Airmail.
kids these days, no.
We used to be a
terrified.
society with
I mean,
landlines.
They see the phone ring and they get triggered. You know what I mean? They're like,
Triggered.
"Oh, what do you mean you called without texting me first?"
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Well, listen, we got a jam-packed show here today. We're here till about 1:30. We're taking a ton of fan questions. So if you have any fun questions for us, we've got some Discord questions from fan controlled fans. If you're new to the channel here, this is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. We have Fan Controlled Football season version 3.0 coming up very soon in 2023. Season 1 of Fan Controlled Hoops, where we'll be playing a life-size, gigantic LED basketball court. Wait till you see the actual footage of it. As Dees says, it's a religious experience, and me, who's not too big into religion, it's still a religious experience. I don't know how to really capture it other than to say it like that. You can go to our websites. You can follow us on all our social medias. We have tons of stuff going on. Today, we did this especially for you, the fans, because we're thankful for you. Without you, we do not have a sports league. And, we talked a lot last week, and we put the clip up of how you would fan control soccer. And one thing we forgot to talk about, Dees, as the U.S. tied Wales, or as they call it in soccer, a draw. There should not be draws or ties or whatever you want to call it in sports. There shouldn't be.
No.
It shouldn't happen. I don't care if it's the group stage. All these soccer fans got so mad at me yesterday, Dees. It's the group stage. Think of it as one long game. No, I don't want to think of it like that. I don't. It's a win or a loss. It's it.
1,000%. And the fun thing about working at an organization that's involved with sports, we were all pretending to work on group video calls, watching that in the background.
Yes.
Like nobody was paying attention. We were mumbling our way through the meeting. And then I saw you took the cue because I was actually looking in the meeting and I saw you go, yeah, when we scored. So it was a fun group experience where we all pretended to work.
Listen, it's a national convergence of passion. Take that to the bank and put it on something.
Okay, yeah.
A national so when you're on a call with people, everybody knows it's going on.
Yeah.
Right?
We
Everybody
just
knows.
owned it. No, we just owned it. We called it out.
Jigga Man Porto
in the chat asked, why do I look like a grown-up version of Calvin and Hobbes?
That's
I
pretty
think Calvin
good.
from Calvin and Hobbes. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's better than the season 1 commentary where somebody called me a discount store Conan O'Brien.
Yeah,
so
I'll take that.
I'm a bigger fan of Calvin, I think.
Do we think that Calvin, if like, let's just say it's sort of like that SNL sketch where you have like the dark Oscar the Grouch, and the quote is like, "Who asked for a dark Oscar the Grouch?" Right? If somebody to do a dark Calvin and Hobbes, Calvin's obviously in prison, right? Like that kid was a bad kid. He was just a bad kid, right?
And it was all things that he saw. It was imagination to drive him to Grand Theft Auto, I think.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's gone through rehab 10 or 12 times.
100%.
And I think the drugs were to get the voices out of his head, right? I mean, that's the dark side of seeing shit like that.
Yeah. Like A Beautiful Mind, cool, because he wins the Nobel Prize and he's able to use his brain to put his schizophrenia at bay, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, great story.
Sure.
What Calvin is dealing with is something completely different, and he hasn't had any help from his absentee parents who have never made it into the comic. Okay, and we're not saying he's murdered. He's not doing anything like bad. Listen, Grand Theft Auto, probably a B&E, maybe just something to get by, because he clearly lives in like an okay area where crime is part of the growing up process.
It's there, but it's a nice neighborhood, lower middle class, but people are still turning tricks on the corner.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And Jigga Man Porto KOD, we love you, buddy. Celso Porto. You didn't think that's the answer and where that was going to go, did you?
Nobody had that on their bingo card.
Nope, did not.
Calvin turning tricks was not on the show bingo card. No,
it's hard out here for a pimp, right? And Hobbes tried his best, right?
He did.
He tried his best, but at the end of the day, that tiger could only last so long. He had to go out and do something. And in his old age, he tried to really help Calvin, but
at some point we've all got to let go of our Hobbes.
Yes.
Just figure it out. So ridiculous.
He's in juvie, just like, who's your best friend? An imaginary tiger.
Don't mess with that dude.
Yo, have you talked to Calvin? That guy's kind of messed up. Holy shit. So we're going to be here all day. Again, fan-controlled sports entertainment. I do have a quick trivia for you at the end of the show as well.
Yeah.
Let's go. But also, right now on our website, and if you're watching the show, you can also listen to the show. It's a podcast. We also have the FCTV Podcast Network, where you can listen to shows like Info Arcade, Don't Cause a Ruckus, which are taking a holiday break this week. The new show, Fan Controlled Fandom, with Kenny G. Stevenson. And every Monday, Patrick Dees, Freddie Stat Go with Freddie Airmail and Kyle Stathead Sheridan. Both weeks have just been stat-fueled and stat-filled and have been absolutely fantastic. But right now on the website, Patrick Dees.
Yes.
We have a Thanksgiving March Madness, if you will. A Thanksgiving
Yes, we do.
Madness. A cornucopia of questions
yes.
about what is our best sides, right? Like what's the best Thanksgiving food? And Jim, if we could throw up the graphic there there we go. Your number 1 seed is turkey, Dees, up against the number 8 seed, pumpkin pie.
Josh, let's start there. How do you let's start. I want to dig into the seeding process because I think most of this is fundamentally flawed. A lot of people are really upset about turkey being number 1 seed. I feel like that without question deserves that number 1. How are you feeling about the seeding process?
I think it's obvious, right? I mean, it has to be because that's like the staple. I mean, it's like turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, right? And
correct. It's a pillar.
It's a pillar.
Yeah.
However, in my family, the last couple of years, we have decided that turkey is out. It's done.
Excuse me?
Yep,
sorry, you broke up there a second, Josh. I heard you say turkey was out.
Turkey is gone. We now do a filet mignon roast. It's a little more expensive, but
Okay.
it's delicious.
Okay.
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 We've gone beef in our family because our family got together and said, we don't like this meat. We don't like it. We've all been lying to each other and we've said we don't want it. So we now go filet mignon roast. However, I understand the number 1 seed, which is why I voted hard for the 8 seed pumpkin pie, because pumpkin pie should be available all year round. Though it doesn't make much sense in the summer, it still brings that warm vibe of Thanksgiving leading into Christmas. Pumpkin pie is absolutely delicious.
Look, I want to realign your perception of turkey a little bit. Filet mignon, strong choice.
Thank you.
Not knocking that.
Yes.
But if you think about turkey in a vacuum's fine. If you relate to it as a cranberry delivery device, it changes the game. And maybe that's saying that cranberry is the real star, but it's a good team.
Yeah, I mean, but Dees, okay. Your turkey is on your bench 364 days a year. It's that 365th day that somehow it starts and the team loses.
Turkey's time to shout, baby. Come on. It's the Rudy of meats, Josh. It's just on the bench. It's on the bench. It gets a carry. It scores a touchdown one day a year. Give it to it. It's the Rudy of meats.
First of all, Rudy got a sack, okay? It wasn't even a carry. Second of all, sometimes...
Rudy got a sack. The indignation.
Jason M. Wright says it. I'm going to Josh's house. Exactly. Ruthless Cutie, pumpkin pie cheesecake is what I make. Holy jeez. Why are we at Ruthless Cutie's house?
I have no idea. Is turkey offsides?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is. Okay. Turkey out. I'm going hardcore turkey or hardcore pumpkin pie, although I know that turkey is winning pretty hard. If I'm not mistaken, Jim, turkey is winning.
Yeah, what is the status of that vote?
We can go to the next vote. I believe we can get that percentage up there eventually. I'm flipping between streams right now. A lot of new faces in here. This is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. This is a video. This is a real life video game. You call the plays in football. You're going to light up a court in hoops, a state of the art LED court, the likes of which have never been seen. And that's not hyperbole. This has never been done before. No. Ever. It was like in the first Thanksgiving when the guy showed up with a turkey and they were like, we don't eat those. They're the most hideous looking things we've ever seen. He's like, this year we're trying it.
Correct.
And now we're stuck with it.
They do look like really lame velociraptors, don't they?
They do. They're hideous.
So we're not the real life video game, but we are. In 2023, you will see seasons of real life Madden again, 7-on-7, hard hitting football. Where to Josh's point, fans are calling plays, they're making all the decisions. It happens in real time. It's a real life video game on the field. And this year we're introducing Fan Control Hoops, which is like NBA Jam IRL. It's like fans controlling the action, dictating the strategy on the court, and it's going to be wild. Both of these sports are, if they were reinvented for the digital age, what would they look like? And my assertion would be, fan control sports as a whole.
Well said, Patrick Dees. As the founder of this league, you say it very well. Freddie Airmel, LED Thanksgiving dinner table? ? Fans laid up which sides to eat. Now we're talking about fan controlled eating, and that's something. That is
liking
something.
And subscribing at the moment.
Yes,
correct.
Yes. And an Hilotron and Anilotron, I'll get there. Ruthless Cutie, my grandmother would make potato casserole with cornflake, cheese, and all the delicious stuff ever. I hope I get the recipe. I know that recipe. I make that recipe, and it's incredible.
So you're inviting them to get in your DMs, is what you're saying. Yes. You'll hook them up. Got it.
Yes. Come for that potato recipe. I have it. My Aunt Char makes it for every holiday, and it never fails. Everybody request Aunt Char potatoes. Unbelievable.
They're named after her in the house? That's great.
Yeah. My family made a cookbook a few years ago, and their Aunt Char potatoes are in that cookbook.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Jim, what's the second vote? Let's throw up that second vote up there. Here we go. Number 2 seed, mashed potatoes versus green bean casserole. Okay. Mashed potatoes, Dees, and go with me here for a sec. Mashed potatoes, I think and I hate sweet potatoes, so I'm not even going to put it in there. Mashed potatoes are really easy to make bad. But really hard to make good, like great.
I think that's right, but worth the effort, because when you hit that great, it's
Yes.
mind blowing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
Right.
yes, several times you're not going to get that quality, but I think that deserves that number 2 seed just for its potential, if you will.
Okay. Okay. I agree. And listen, anything with green beans is the worst. So, and I love a good casserole. I love a good I love a good casserole.
You've always said that. You introduce yourself all the time. I'm Josh McCouga. I like a good casserole. It's
Yeah.
a little early in a conversation to introduce your casserole preferences, but my point is you're not fronting now.
No. Dees, when we first met, what was the first, literally, hey, what do you want to drink? I was like, I'll have a vodka tonic. And you said, do you like casseroles? And I said, it's a good thing you said that.
Yeah. I mean,
Because I was going to bring that up.
You got to get it out of the way. You know what I mean? Because if we're not on the same page about casseroles, how are we ever going to be friends? You know?
Right. Well, listen, Ruth Cutie said, have you ever had green bean casserole, Josh? Yes, I have had green bean casserole. Okay. And just like Deez's turkey is a vehicle for cranberry, I'm not a big cranberry guy. I love the band. Okay. I love to let it linger. Okay.
Zombie.
I'm a big zombie fan. Okay. Now, Briefunti asks, what casseroles then, Josh? There are myriad casseroles that I would delve into. But the amount of times that I have green bean casseroles and that green bean taste still is so dominant within the casserole that it ruins a casserole. And like we've talked about, Dees, there are 2 rules in life. Don't ruin a casserole. And if you are the person that ruins the casserole, you apologize.
It's a strong segue. Yeah.
And green beans has done that. Okay.
So green beans owes you an apology is what you're getting at.
Correct. Correct.
Owes all of us collectively an apology. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we all vote potatoes.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What is the next one up, though? Because this is where it's the competition, the seating starts narrowing a little bit, and it gets pretty intense. I think those are pretty obvious votes. I'm curious to see what this next one is.
And R.I.P., the lead singer of the Cranberries, they died? She died? He died?
What?
Whoa. That
is just such a bummer.
That is
great.
Really
Again,
sad.
Didn't have the lead singer of the Cranberries dying on the bingo card today.
They definitely did not.
That's
hey, we just got a big bump and a lot of people watching. So this is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment, real life video game, real athletes, professional athletes playing football, soon to be hoops. You call the plays in football. You light up an LED basketball court, create NBA Jam in real life. Subscribe to the channel here. We'll be doing content all leading up to season 3 of football, season 1 of hoops. She died in Freddie Airmail. She died in 2018.
Okay. All right. We're with it. We're
right, so it's not too soon. Okay.
No, it's definitely not too soon.
All right, your next vote up, Jim. Am I like missing? I keep switching back and forth between the chat one and the actual. Oh, here we go. All right. Number 4 seed is dressing, which is confusing. Is that salad dressing or are we talking about like stuffing? And against the 5 seed, rolls.
That's got to be stuffing. That's stuffing.
Right. Okay. That's
right?
stuffing.
Okay. Yeah. Let's just call it for all intents and purposes. We're calling it stuffing here.
Against
rolls. Rolls is not a competition. I thought this was going to get more intense as we narrowed the.
Yes.
It's stuffing all day long. That's ridiculous. You can eat a roll, to your point, 365 days of the year. Literally nothing special about a dinner roll in any variety. They're good. They're fine. They're just not stuffing. Again, you go back to the pillars of Thanksgiving. Stuffing is on that Mount Rushmore of Thanksgiving Day foods.
Freddie Airmail with a deep from left field call. I think people call it dressing when it's not stuffed into anything.
God, I'm just learning so much today.
Yes. I mean, Freddie Airmail, full of information. You can listen to his podcast, Freddie Stat Go on the FCDV podcast. Subscribe wherever you find podcasts. Let me defend the roll just a touch until we go to the next vote here real quick.
Classic Josh. Go ahead.
Have you ever a nice little warm roll about 2 hours after the meal? You jam the stuffing, a little bit of turkey or ham.
Okay. Yes.
Some cranberry, some gravy, a little mini roll sandwich. It's pretty good.
As good as it gets. But the vote isn't like stuffing versus 1 hour later a roll with all of this stuff. It's just, I have to take the vote for what it is. If they wrote a small paragraph explaining that scenario that you made, I'm voting for that.
Okay. Okay. And brings a honey baked ham. You tell them, that was Josh McCouga's first job. He eventually made it to manager of a local honey baked ham. He started off as a facer, made his way to glazer, and then eventually, was a manager. If you do bring a honey baked ham, just know it's fantastic the next day with a little bit of cheddar cheese and some mustard. Dip it in the gravy. Don't let anybody tell you different. Okay, that's all I'm saying. What is our final vote here, Jim? Up on the website. Did I lose you, Patrick?
No, I was just going to say, so I'm having some connection issues. You're coming in and out again. So I will, if for whatever reason I'm just not responsive, it's not because I was really disinterested in the conversation. It's just losing you here and there. You know what I mean? It's not my normal. I'm just tuning out. Me working.
No, I said usually instead of saying swear words, I just say "mother of dragons." Mother of dragons. And you guys can hear me. I can hear Makuga. Thanks, Bree. Great to see everybody. Yeah, Dees is not back. Oh, thanks. You can see TV Talk represent Black Rock Wednesday. What? Man, bringing back some TV Talk. I'll tell you what, Black Rock Wednesday. How good is Andor? How good is Andor? That so flipping good. Oh my god. All right, let's move on. We've got this the fan Discord questions. You guys can all join the Discord. This one comes from our buddy Nerdy Plays. When does the Christmas season officially start? November 1st, December 1st, Thanksgiving Day, Macy's Parade when Santa appears, December 24th. I would argue that as you take the last bite on Thanksgiving Day, as soon as you take that last bite is when Christmas season starts. Now, I know Christmas decorations have been going up in Target since before Halloween. Okay. And I know Thanksgiving is the afterthought of the holiday season. That's a real bummer. Okay. I'm sure that a lot of people, namely your parents and older, are like, back in my day, we don't say Christmas decorations until December 3rd when the city opened up. And we walked around and looked in the store windows for all you kids and your devices. Now, that is possible. But for me, and jump in, Boykin for MVP says the day after Thanksgiving. Anybody else? I personally think it's the day after Thanksgiving. I don't think it's Black Friday. Do I hear Dees re-entering? There he is. He's back.
Yes, sir. What about the day after Thanksgiving? Not great. It's killing me, Smalls.
The question from Discord was, from our buddy Nerdy Plays, when does the Christmas season start? When does Christmas season start? And I said day after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I think that's just a fact. That's just science, right? Like, is that up for debate? You know,
no, I mean, a lot of people, listen, I mean, Amanda put up our Christmas tree in our house 2 weeks ago. She loves Christmas. It's a little too early for me, but I love my wife and I'm not going to argue about it.
No, that's born out of, I think the intentions are good, right? She loves Christmas. She wants more of it. I get it. My neighborhood is a giant competition to see who loves Christmas most, right? Like you have the outside, it looks like Christmas threw up all over these houses. To me, not even going to think about it till after I've eaten my weight in turkey.
Yeah, okay. Or in my house, now we have beef.
Yeah, that's right.
Beef.
That's right.
Is
filet mignon. Right.
Yeah, of course. Like, listen, we're classy over here. Listen, my brother makes the request, and my parents do whatever my brother asks, and I just go along with it. He could be like, I think I'm vegan this year. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll drink whiskey. All right, another Discord question. This one, nerds again. Is football in sub-zero temperatures fun or full? Would you attend a game where you would literally get frostbite? Well, as somebody that has attended games like that, yes. I would attend them. Dees, New York Jets play the Pittsburgh Steelers in a playoff game, 2005, I believe. And my beer froze. Everything else froze. Everything was frozen. The entire everything froze. And was it miserable? Yeah, hilarious. Yes. Is it a story I'll tell forever? Maybe.
I think that sounds like a nightmare, right? Like I'm freezing. It's like 65 degrees right now, and I'm like bundled up in a hoodie. That just sounds like an unmitigated nightmare. I'm a soft California boy who could not hack that. If I'm slightly uncomfortable at a football game, it's not my jam. So no, thank you. No. By the way, were you calling plays at that game?
No, I wasn't. But there was a lot of kicking, which both are not great. It's not great. The Jets kick or miss like 4 field goals.
How was the game? Lots of kicking.
My brother fell, played a nachos. I drank a bottle of scotch. I mean, listen, the story's about.
The scotch is just to stay warm. It's a survival technique. Yeah.
100%. It doesn't. If you think I'm drinking the scotch for any other reason than to just keep my
No,
body warm,
no. It's
yeah, no,
practical. Totally.
practical. Um, okay, next one comes from our buddy. What is it? If you were single, would you either be on The Bachelorette or Love Island Too Hot to Handle? What's the one where your parents are the most embarrassed by your appearance? Because that's the one I want to be on.
Love Island. What's the F boy Island, or what was that? What's
F
that
Boy
one?
Island?
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
think
you
we
and
all
I could
sound like we've been
qualify
there.
as F boys, Dees. I don't think you and I
No,
qualify for F
we're not
boys.
nearly attractive enough. You know what I mean?
Never.
No,
Yeah. I mean, you are.
they're like, no. That they line us up. They'd be like, half of these guys are F boys, and we're like, no, we know who those two are. Definitely not. Get them out. No.
They just let
We
on
could
their for free food.
I feel like though we would crush a Survivor-esque challenge. Like if we teamed up on like one of those ones where you race across the country or something, I think we would crush that.
I'm pretty good at it. Yeah. I think your resourcefulness and my ability to never take no for an answer from somebody,
Yeah.
like I've never watched Amazing Race, but I also think we get along really, really well. And that like in the worst circumstance, you could be like, I mean, it could be worse, I guess.
we have the whole country rooting.
We can look at it.
So listen, Chrome is not being my friend at the moment. So Chrome's not being my friend at the moment. I'm actually going to quickly reboot this bad boy because I'm getting every other word, and I'm having a blast with every other word. But I'll be right back to try and get a better connection here.
I'm back. So I'm back in the New York group. All right. Okay. So Freddie Airmail asks, is Thanksgiving overrated? I personally think Thanksgiving is just rated. It's where it's supposed to be, and we just like you don't get presents for it. That's what the kids want. You don't have to see. There's not as much obligation around Thanksgiving as there is Christmas, right? Like your parents, like, oh yeah, go have fun with your friends. It's just Thanksgiving. On Christmas, like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, there's a lot of obligation that goes into having to be with your family all the time, especially when you have an Italian mom who loves a good guilt trip. So I think that Thanksgiving is perfectly rated. If you like turkey, great. Freddie Airmail says we're flipping those obligations this year. Okay. How about so Freedom Fighter? Has it ever been brought up to have fan power-ups that would impact the playing ball? I'm thinking of like mimicking the weather by playing with a frozen football or playing with a wet ball as if it was raining. That is a hilarious idea. Okay. It's an awesome idea. I don't know how functionally capable, like, I don't know how we would do that. Are we keeping balls in like a giant freezer? And how long do they stay frozen for? Because the football, when it's freezing outside, stays frozen. Like the ball is basically the temperature of the outside. If we were to take that frozen football, put it into the hands of the quarterback right away, and then have a rotating thing of frozen footballs, I mean, again, hilarious idea. It's frozen football time. And there's just a trainer sitting over one of those huge ice chests that you pull up and you pull a frozen football out of there. It's I don't know. The wet ball, I guess you just throw it over, they spray it with a spray bottle and they throw it back. But again, it has to be raining outside for that to stay. But that is, again, it's a funny idea for a power up, I guess. We got great to see everybody. A lot of new faces in here. This is Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment. We are the first ever fan controlled professional sports league where you, the fans, call the plays in football. Get the app, download the app, watch the games, call the plays. And in basketball, which will be launching in 2023, we'll have an LED basketball court, which you light up. You light up players, you light up zones, you multiply scoring. It's NBA Jam in real life. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. Zambino, it's the Wild Man on my screen. Good to see you. I saw one in here that I wanted to bring up, and it's here. Wait, am I missing? Anyway, so yeah, having a frozen football or a rainy football, again, hilarious. I don't think that can happen. What did the duck ask? What's a podcast you love that you're not associated with? I just finished that not Up and Vanished. Your Own Backyard, where that guy just got convicted of the murder. spoiler alert, but I highly recommend listening to that podcast. Dees is back.
I will tell you, Josh, one of the things that I'm thankful for most in life is technology. And the technology at my place has decided to take off for the Thanksgiving vacation just a little bit early. Just phoning it in, over the last couple of days. Really good challenge. I did switch routers, so let's see if that I can hear you. I will tell you, I was getting about every other word of what you were saying earlier, and that's still a show that I would like and subscribe. You know what I mean? Like every other Josh is pretty great.
Every other Josh,
pretty great, pretty great.
It's basically like a post-apocalyptic world where every other person's name is Josh.
That sounds like an unmitigated nightmare. Like there's something about the name that Josh that saved them from the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like Taco Bell in Demolition Man.
Yeah, it's a two C-cells kind of thing. I follow.
What I missed? Right, well, we were talking about, first of all, Freddie Airmail asked, is Thanksgiving overrated? And I said, it's kind of rated.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I'm pretty whelmed with it.
Whelmed.
Yeah. It's just rated. I think that's right. I think it's a lot of run, but it deserves it. Yeah. It's a time to, the thing I know, at the risk of sounding incredibly cheesy, like the idea of taking a beat and being introspective and focusing on the things that you're grateful for in life is awesome. You know what I mean? There's no other holiday like that. So I think the commission's gonna be joining us in a second. But
is he coming in? Is the commish making it?
Let's go!
Come on,
commish! Look at that. The man knows how to make an entrance. Knows how to make an entrance.
I've been in the Twitch universe for the last 20 years.
Floating
around in whatever atmosphere I was been in. This has been that was tough. That was tough to get in. I don't know.
Jeez. The commish is here. I will say, forget all the other thankfuls that I've thrown out there. I'm thankful that the commish has made it. Are we going to go a little bit longer? Can you guys stay a little bit longer?
I mean, I'm just joining, so the show just started. So
exactly.
I can tell you what I'm thankful. I'm thankful I was able to get in and talk about all those horrible things that you said about Thanksgiving food. I can't believe turkey. Are you serious? Do you know what I did? You know what I did yesterday? I drove 30 minutes to my brother-in-law's house.
30 minutes.
He has a hole in the ground that he puts a pot with really hot ass grease. And he's going to dip my turkey in that. Boy, if you ever had fried turkey, you would not have said any of the things that you said. That was blasphemous for what you said about turkey.
Raymond, former defensive back university.
And then you talked about sweet potato. Have you ever had a sweet potato pie?
Yeah, it's not that good. It's not that good. It's not that good.
Right. Categorically disagree. Look, you and I are aligned on the whole casserole front. Sweet potato thing, man. I'm in Camp Hooray all day.
Bruh, a real sweet potato pie, like one slice is like 1,000. If it's done right, it's like 1,000 calories. If it's literally just straight butter. It's not even sweet potato. The sweet potato is really just kind of for the color.
You just need a nap after one slice.
It's just a butter pie, pretty much.
Great. Sweet butter pie. It sounds delicious.
I mean, I'll eat a butter pie if somebody was okay. Maybe I'm just eating the wrong because let me say this. I've never had a deep fried turkey. My family won't do it. Okay. And I love my mom, but she's not watching. My mom can make a turkey dry. I mean, she makes the driest turkey of all time. And I love her. But that's why we have switched, because guess what? She makes an incredible filet mignon roast, and it's on another planet of delicious. It's
my wife jerks it. You know what that means? She jerk it. That means she makes a jerk turkey. Like
a jerky?
Like a jerk, like like
jerk chicken. Yeah.
Jerk chicken, a jerk. I mean, it's just like she oil that thing up like she massaging me. I'll be like, boy.
What is your house like, Ray?
And I'm telling man, listen, you put that in that oil and it'd be like, you'd be like, oh man, that's gonna be, I can't wait, bro.
Man, the Thanksgiving at your place has to be fun because you just light up talking about it. You light up talking about fan control, sports, and entertainment, and Thanksgiving, and like not anything else in between. So
we absolutely need fan control food because I mean, you like to eat old stuff for some reason. I don't know why, but
me,
I
had a show about it.
I love food. I love dinners. I love, I mean, I'm healthy, but I love soul food too. I like to put a little soul in my seasoning.
Yeah, little. You know what I need to make both of you is a pasta carbonara. I know it's not a Thanksgiving food, but it's if you go to a restaurant and you get a pasta carbonara, it's going to be okay. It's going to most likely it's going to be okay. It's not going to blow your mind.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like super flavorful. It's
safe.
It's good.
Okay.
You come to my. I have been perfecting my pasta carbonara forever. Since 2003, almost 20 years. I've been perfecting this pasta carbonara. The other thing I make really well is a homemade Sunday ragu. It's thick, it's meaty. It's like me at a buffet. It's like it's thick and meaty, you know. Gotta loosen the belt straps. it takes 8 to 9 hours to make. But once it's there, like I've had people that are foodies and total like dicks about things come in and be like, all right, this is worth it. I didn't want to like it. But
Josh, what goes into a ragu? For those of us uninitiated, I don't have any clue what that is.
So I'll put in like 4 or 5
could serve
spare
me
ribs.
anything and call it a ragu, and I'd be like, all right, great.
Yeah. Well, as long as it has meat and it's thick and it's a tomato-based sauce, it can be a ragu, right?
So it's like a stew?
No. It'd be like an Italian tomato stew, yes, basically, but it's Sunday sauce. It's a vehicle for pasta. It's a pasta vehicle.
Are you any more clear on what ragu is, Ray, after that description? Because I'm more confused than when I asked the question. It's like, yes, but no, but it's meaty, but it's Sunday sauce. I don't know what any of that means. It's a lot of words. That was a ragu of a sentence.
Correct.
Josh.
Correct.
Yeah.
So what I do? Go ahead, Ray. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, okay, so here's what you do. You brown, like I'll take 4 or 5 short ribs, brown them real quick, throw them in. A full like T-bone steak, brown it, throw it in. Like 4 or 5 bone-in pork chops, brown it, throw it in. 4 or 5 meatballs, brown it, throw it in. Yeah, and then I'll usually take about 4 or 5 Italian sausage links, brown them, throw them in. San Marzano tomatoes, crushed, peeled, a little bit of Hunt's sauce because Heinz doesn't make a tomato sauce, some tomato paste, a bunch of basil, salt, pepper, garlic, and just let it simmer for 8 or 9 hours. The meat falls off the bones. You pull the bones out. You crush it up a little bit. You emulsify it so it's a ragu. Throw it on top of homemade pasta. Bow, 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 bow.
Hey, man, you just blew my mind. I ain't know all that. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot. I had no idea you put that much meat in a ragu. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
Can you put too much meat? You can't, right? It just sounds like if there's meat in the house, you're grabbing it from wherever it's going.
Yes.
What do you do in there?
If the pot is big enough, you brown it, throw it in there.
Brown it. You guys like Spam? You like Spam?
Yeah, of course.
I'll eat it.
I ate a lot when I was in Hawaii. Spam was big in the Hawaiian culture, so I used to eat it all.
This is a safe space, right? It's just us.
Yes.
Yeah, great. My parents were in town. My folks were in town a couple weeks back, and they've got a brand new chocolate lab. Anyway, they showed up to my place with all of the dog accoutrement. You know, they travel with it's a puppy. It's like 8 weeks old. Anyway, it's my pantry. I usually know what's in there. Sauce and beef jerky. I said, that sounds awesome. I'm in the mood for a beef jerky. I housed one. It was the worst thing I've ever eaten. And it was a dog treat. And I'm not particularly proud of that. But when you were doing all the meats, doing this motion, all I could think about was the fact that not one of my finest moments, I just ate dog jerky. Yeah. Man, glad we got that out. And it's just the 3 of us talking. So I'm glad.
Here's the secret sauce for the ragu. Okay. There's 2 little secrets. One, you grate a full, hunk of Parmesan cheese for later to put on top of your pasta sauce, obviously, on top of your ragu, and you take the rind, right? You throw that into the sauce and you pull it out at the end. You pull like the soggy end of the edge of the Parmesan cheese. You don't eat that. That's just for flavor. And you got to take a little pinch, like a little of sugar, just to sweeten it up.
Put a little sugar in there. Yeah.
Little sugar in there.
That's why I heard. That's why when you said ketchup, I was like, okay, you got to have a ketchup sauce in there because that's the sugar. So, but you got to throw some sugar up in there.
And here's the Italian little trick too, because Ray, I got to make Italian wedding soup. That's a Thanksgiving tradition in our house. Italian wedding soup. You take 3 or 4 heaping tablespoons of ketchup, put it in the soup, mix it all around, and it turns it a little bit orange, and it adds this sweetness to the saltiness. It's good. It's good.
I can see it in your eyes.
Yeah.
You just hit me in this. I want to take. I'm like, okay.
Yep. Dees, get on. I'm telling you, the next time I come to next time we do like an offsite, I'll just cook the whole 3 days.
Yeah, that'll be dope. That'll be dope.
Right?
I mean,
Italian each night.
Let's get that on the calendar, like right now. I've been dragging my feet, but if you're cooking, let's go.
Here we go.
You ever had codfish fritters? You ever had fritters, cod fritters?
Yeah, of course.
That's really there's this little appetizer I make for my wife, and she loves them. Like the real crispy, the real crunchy, got the little fishy taste to it with the garlic on it, man. The little parsley on that bad boy. Yeah. That's good. That's a nice little treat.
Ray, what are your Thanksgiving plans this year, man? Like, what does Thanksgiving look like for the Austin household?
Besides burying a hole.
Yeah, besides the burying of the hole, my wife is from Chicago, so.
Yep.
She's got all her families here. She's got five brothers, 4 sisters. So she got a big family. So, we always hang out. She has an awesome family. Like I get along with all her brothers. All her brothers are cops. So, we all get along. We all get along pretty well. So, yeah,
dude, you're right along. You're right along.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
I know the streets of Chicago pretty well because I did talk with them and see them do their thing, man. It's a trip.
Dude, real quick, I got to tell you, Erica Izzy on our team. She's an editor. She lives in Scotland, but she's Italian, born and raised in my area. Okay, she's Italian, where my family is from in Italy. She just texted me, the joy your description of Ragu brought in this house is unmeasurable. Makoog's out there educating. That's from an Italian girl. That makes me feel. Come on, man.
I make a zuppa lepesh over there.
Oh,
a little zuppa,
Pesque.
I'm still not at all clear what a ragu is. I just know that a bunch of stuff is in it. Like, I got a lot of stuff in it, and I'm going to eat it.
A bunch of meat.
No,
so basically what we buy at the store is not ragu. So.
Just no clue.
However, Ruthless Cutie does bring up, but you did ruin pizza, Josh. Okay, as we're on this food conversation, by the way, if you're tuning in, we see a lot of new faces. Join in the chat. Say hi to us. We're part of Guest Star Week here on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/fan-controlled sports. We're the only professional sports leagues in the world where you, the fans, call the plays in fan-controlled football, and you, the fans, will light up zones and light up players in fan-controlled hoops coming in 2023 on a professional-sized LED basketball court. You're an LED basketball court. This is not... Anyway, okay, so here we go.
It's like a big-ass phone with a screen protector over it.
Correct. And you're playing basketball on it.
Yeah.
And so we're three knuckleheads associated with the league, but essentially, again, if you're just tuning in, this is real life sports. They're real life video games where fans control and dictate everything that happens both on the field of play in football and coming soon on the court in basketball. We're taking over the globe, and we're talking a little bit about things we're grateful for, and mostly food is what we've come to, right?
And we can end the food conversation because I do have a funny trivia for you guys. And then because we said we'd be done at 1:30.
I'm mad because I was going to get into the pizza conversation, but go ahead because I'm in Chicago. So.
Yeah, I don't know how did you ruin pizza? You single-handedly ruined pizza?
No. So this went viral last week. This went viral last week, Dees, Ray, and there's a pizza place in Pittsburgh called Beato's, Beto, Beato's Pizza. It's on Banksville Road, and no, we call it Beato's. Everything in Pittsburgh is wrong. Okay,
sure.
I mean, if you were Italian, to be Betos, or in Pittsburgh, Beato's.
Okay.
So what they do at Beato's Pizza is it's a thick crust pizza. Okay, they cook it Sicilian style, right?
Thank God.
They cook it with the dough and the sauce. They pull it out of the oven. They throw cold cheese on it, and that's how you eat it. Now, the pizza is so hot, okay, that the cheese melts.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the crust and sauce is so good that for some reason this works. Now, you will doubt yourself when you see this. You're like, these people are maniacs. How would they do this? Why would they do this? All that. Eagle 7676, good to see you. Okay. But I'm telling you, it's delicious. My wife doubted it. I mean, so hard doubted it. We took her there and she was like, okay, it's pretty good. She saying that begrudgingly. It's very good. It's very, very good. So
anybody come to Chicago, if you ever come to Chicago, go to a spot called Pequod's. It's not deep dish.
Okay.
It has this damn crust on the outside. I don't even know what to explain. You have to go there to have this crust. It's a crunchy, soggy, amazingness. It is, you will literally finish your pizza and have all your crusts lined up as your ending of that night. And they are, it is by far one of the best pieces here. You'll hear Illuminati's and Da Vinci and all these others. Go to Pequod's. That bad boy is always, it is down on the north side. Big ass bar is great.
We should have got, had we stayed an extra night.
I would have went. Right? I wanted to take you guys there.
Okay. Okay. So that's our food talk for this episode of a special episode of the Fan Controlled Show, live on a Tuesday afternoon. Usually we're live every Thursday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on twitch.tv/fancontrolledsports, across all of our channels, YouTube, Twitter. You guys can follow us on all the social medias, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We're there. We're doing stuff. We've got all kinds of fun stuff leading up to all of our seasons of sports. Eventually, there will be a fan-controlled sports season going 365 days a year. And so, look out for that. F3T Mule says, Detroit pizza, ! Big fan in the San Francisco area of Square Pie, guys. It's a Detroit style pizza. Yes. It's unbelievable.
Yep.
Yes. So we've got a little bit of show left. How long can you stay, Dees? I know you guys have meetings and stuff.
We do, but I literally just was. I believe my next meeting is currently watching and understands that we're going long, so I'm good till 2:00 Pacific.
Okay, all right. Okay, so we got 20
minutes. We had a bit.
Okay, all right. So let's go around. Let's say what we're thankful for here, and we can ask the people in the chat. We can read all the things that you're thankful for as well. This is a time to tell the people what you think.
You want to start, Josh?
Sure.
You don't have to go all in. Let's go round robin. We'll each hit one.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And then we'll go round and round.
All right. I'm thankful for my wife and my little daughter. I spent 100 days in a hotel in Atlanta for season 2.0 of football, and it was amazing. And I loved every second of the job I'm able to do with this company. But I'm thankful that my wife had the patience, and our daughter, and she recognized me when I got home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was somebody that never wanted to get married and never wanted to have kids. I was that crazy 20-something that was like, I'll never do it. And then I met my wife and I had a baby, and now life is absolutely perfect. And it's hard to put into words what a little baby does for your life in goods and bads. But I don't know what life was like without her. So I'm very thankful that she's in it.
We're also grateful for your wife for allowing us to steal you away for that long and kind of hold the ship down during the course of the season. So we're grateful for that.
I would before we get into all that, let's thank all the wives and husbands in this company, because
and family.
We have been doing this for 10 years. For those who are just now jumping on, this has been 10 years in the making. You guys don't know this. We've been working on this for a long, long time, and we've had some amazing, our spouses, going through this with us, and the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the success, the failures, and for them all to be here, and to when we were up at the Emmys and all the wives was there and just hanging out and just looking good, and our wives come to the games and the kids are running around passing balls and all that stuff that is awesome. Those are memories that they will always have and we will always have, right? And so I'll just start there and say, I just want to thank all the spouses that are part of what we're doing.
It's a strong pull, right? Yeah,
well
we don't get here alone.
Yeah, no, definitely
not even close. I think just to keep it on the real train, I'm really grateful for health. Yeah. Specifically at the moment, Ray knows, we've had some, obviously I've had some ups and downs. I've had testicular cancer, a couple of years back. And I think prior to that, I really took health for granted in a way that I don't anymore, and am grateful for the time that I have to, spend with loved ones, but also build this thing with you guys and be with friends. So it's nothing that I'm ever going to take for granted anymore. And that comes up a lot during the course of Thanksgiving. It's about the time I was diagnosed back a couple of years ago. So it's present anyway for me. And anyway, just grateful for our health.
And for everybody out there, man, we these are my boys. And so if they ain't your boys, you can't make fun of them. And we used to call them D's nuts, but now we just call them D nut.
D's nuts. It is now singular. Well, so that's a true story. Actually, they asked me if I wanted a prosthesis, and I thought a lot about it and asked the doctor if I could make it a Wi-Fi hotspot. And he said, what's wrong with you? And so then he laughed, and then I didn't end up getting it. So it's singular. It's just he's not correct.
Did you see it? Did you see it though?
What's that? Do you want to see the picture of it?
No, did they show it? I don't want to see
Dude,
it.
you know what? Okay, so this is way more information than anybody wanted. I was on the table and they were ready to cut it out. And I said, hey, look, right before they give me the anesthesia, I said, hey, so I can have it, right? Can I put it in a jar? And the guy's like, no, it's like some biohazard. And because I think it should belong on my desk. You can't see this, but I've got like trophies here. I should have one testicle in a jar right there to show anybody who I want all of the time. So anyway, he gives me the anesthesia, and you know how like you count to 10 and you're just out. So he gives me the anesthesia, and I'm like I'm super bummed out. I'm never gonna see this again. It's mine. I grew it.
Yeah.
And so I hand him my phone, and I said, "Take a picture of it." And I'm out. It's the last thing I remember. I come to, friends and family are there. Everybody's making sure I'm fine. 2 minutes later, the dude walks by with like a printed version of the testicle that they like a photo, and throws it on my chest. He's like, best I could do, and walked off. And I was
Get
like,
out of here.
it was great. So anyway, I've got that memorialized. But anyway. I'm grateful for health.
Yes, dude. My brother, who's been, he's been battling cancer for the last 5+ years. It started with colorectal, and so I had to get a colonoscopy pretty much right away. And as I sat down, as they're giving me you see all these TVs around, and they stick a camera straight up your butt, and I was like, are you guys gonna put the game on or just my butthole? And nobody laughed. Not one person in the room laughed. I was so bummed. I was like, guys, it's a job. So bummed.
Let's go.
Not okay.
Thank you. Eagle7676 in the chat says, I'm thankful for my family and colleagues who helped me transition into my new coaching position this past football season. Having to move to a new place and a new housing needed, they all made the transition easier, and I'm grateful to have other coaches who taught me not just the X's and O's, but what really is important in life. Congratulations, Eagle7676. Yeah. Where are you coaching? Freddie Gabriel, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and that's real talk, man, because we need those coaches out there. I've got like 4 or 5 dads, and I say that all the time because I got four coaches. I got my real dad. I got my 4 coaches that have literally gotten me all the way through high school, college, into the pros. So, shouts out to you, bro. We need more like it.
Absolutely. Freddie Emerald said, I was gonna say I felt bad now if I ever made a D's nuts joke. I'm not
Ronald Cherry activated to take that roster spot.
Every TSA agent who has ever seen my driver's license, they do one of these like. Anybody ever told you? No, you're the first one. You right now, first one ever.
F3T Mule says, I'm grateful there's a lot of people who see the FIFA for what it is, a corrupt organization not controlled by the fans. Yeah, because guess what? We talked about it last week. If fans controlled soccer, first of all, there wouldn't be ties. There would be no draws. You don't tie in sports. It's over. There's a winner and there's a loser, or a person that didn't win. Okay. Eagle7676, I coach at the high school level in Green Bay. Oh, amazing. Man. Freezing, but what a cool place to coach.
Yeah, no kidding. Right? Good town. Josh, what else are you grateful for? Let's go. You're going to be round robin in? I don't want to cut into trivia, but I thought we should go a couple rounds real quick.
Yeah. I'll start with a funny one. I'm really grateful that over this past few months that I'm no longer terrified of horses. Okay.
You have that same phobia too?
Yes. Yeah. And
people, they're terrifying animals. I get so much shit about the fact that horses scare me. Oh God, you love casseroles and you hate horses. We are BFF.
Yeah. It's okay. We live with horses. There's horses on this property. My mother-in-law was a horse trainer. She still trains horses. She raises horses, and they're everywhere. And Rosie has a pony, and there's a lot goes on this property. And I don't like them. They're gigantic animals that could literally rip your face off or kick you right. Yeah. They're super. I've seen it horses. Anyway,
stuff of nightmares.
I have taken my little daughter who has no fear of horses. She feeds them. She's only 1.5. And I'm like, listen, I can't be that dad that's don't go near the horses. They're going to eat you. So slowly but surely, I have worked on my fear of the horses. Freddie Amos says nightmares. Good wordplay. Okay.
Yeah, very good.
But I'm thankful that I can get near the horses now, and my wife and my mother-in-law don't make fun of me as much.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're not.
I'm since we already talked about spices. I'm still thinking about food. I I am grateful for my dog. I love my dog. My dog is like my best dude. Like that's my guy. I've got an Amstaff pit bull. He's great. He was a rescue, and he's like my
When you,
side.
when you say AMSAP Pitbull, what's that?
And
Is
staff,
that-
American Staffordshire pit bull. So there's all kinds of, they all terriers, all of them. So
right.
there's a certain part they call them certain ones. And Billy, he's a blue nose, and he was a rescue. And what you don't know when you get a rescue, the only bad thing about not bad, I won't say bad, is they neuter him. So he's a really good looking dog, and you're like, damn it, you just he's gonna be one of a kind. So, but yeah, man, just how things can be sometimes. Man, I love my wife, but man, when I come home, I'm like Michael Jordan to that mofo, man. Like he be like, "Ooh, you home, man? What up? What's going on? How's Jeff going, man? What's up with D Nut, man? Is Josh going?" I'm like, guy, man. My God, my God.
Man, I love that. There is something magical. The Kramer name does not live on, apparently, for your dog, Ray. But hey, listen,
it happens. Yeah.
If pit bulls didn't shed, I would own one, and that's not even close. They're my favorite dogs of all time. I just can't live with a dog that sheds. I'm allergic to it.
They have, and thank God he doesn't. But man, I've been into the vet where like they get allergies really bad, so they itch. Like, and so this dude, I looked at him and he just made me itch. He had no fur on him. He was just sitting there like, I was just like, it's just he just looked painful sitting there like that. Me and my dog was looking at him like this. We felt bad for him. It was bad, man. It was bad.
Oh, that's good. Deezy, what you got?
Yeah, I got a couple. I'm sensitive to the fact we're going to do some trivia here.
No, it's only one round. I was only had time to write.
Great.
Round,
okay,
so
perfect. We'll go a couple rounds through this.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for friendships. Like honestly, we talk a little bit about the all these people that kind of make this whole thing go. And for better or for worse, we talk about it all the time. Like I'll talk to Josh at 10:30 at night, or Kamish, I'm texting at midnight. It's like it's not a job, it's a lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And so we're really selective about, who we bring into the circle. And I'm conflating a bunch of thoughts, but the point of one of the reasons we founded this thing was because we wanted an opportunity to work with people that we love day in, day out, right? We're not forced to go work someplace else where you're thrown into a mix with a bunch of people that you don't know or don't trust and those types of things. And so it's cool to see, look, like we were friends with Josh before we worked with him. He now works here as an integral part of what we're doing. And now that friendship is deepened. And so I'm grateful for the two of you guys, Grant Cohen, so for Rudy, all of the people that make this place work. And there are too many to list right here, but I'm thankful for the team that we have here and the friendships that have come of it.
We've created a tech locker room. Like it's like like people just like loving what we're doing, and we're all working together, all trying to win. So it's a good feeling. I haven't felt this way in a long time. I tell people all the time, they're like, man, like all the things you've done, like what do you like the most? I'm like, this. Because I've learned so much from so many different people. Like I play football, we're all the same guys, all the same people. Think about it, right? It's like you want to think differently and get more, you want to be out there a little bit more with other things. And all the things that I've been able to learn in this company is just, and all of us, Josh actually knows football now. He really can talk football now. It's good. It's good to,
You Jag. You got okay. Freddie Airmail says, I'm thankful for my cat. I'm always questioning myself when it comes to sharing stuff I have going on around me, except Hazel. Oh, sweet Hazel.
That's amazing.
I can't get near her because I'm also allergic to that. Yes, I'm not thankful for all of the allergies in my life. I'll tell you that much because there's too many of them. UC_510. Good to see you, bud. I'm grateful for the possibility of an FCF 3.0 Beasts Hennessy Revenge Tour. It's incredible.
I tell you, those Beast fans are really excited to get going for season 3, right? Like I feel like there's a built up animosity from that Beast fan base that they are ready to go.
I was watching. My wife was like, "Come and watch this for me. This is funny." It was celebrity something, people in a house, and Dennis Rodman was on there, and then CJ Perry was on there, and I didn't recognize her at first, and then she gets a phone call, and it was Miro. Miro jumped on the phone I was like, oh, it was cool seeing him. And I texted him, I was like, dude, you on TV right now. He goes, we everywhere, brother. We everywhere.
Dude, yes, I am. Miro recognized me right away. He said my name. Like, dude, how many people does that guy meet? That made me feel kind of special, man. Miro is good people.
He is good people, man. That's a
yeah.
right there.
I mean, I hosted a show with T.O. for 9 straight weeks, and he didn't know my name. Miro only met me on a computer, and he remembered me. He's like, you.
Yeah. I've met Marshawn Lynch about 27 times, and he thinks my name is Big Dog.
Big Dog. Both y'all are Big Dog. He'd be like, who is that? Dog. He even asked me, who is that? But I don't know. That's Big Dog.
I don't know. That's Big Dog.
You just got here.
I don't know. He just keeps showing up, hanging out. Yeah.
You know, all the stuff that we get to do, like, I've had some awful jobs. I've had some good jobs. I've had no jobs. And the fact that, like you said, we get to work with people that we like on a day in and day out basis is, you know, something that everybody should kind of be thankful for. Because I know there's a lot of people out there that really do not like what they do in life. So if you don't, go chase something that you do. Yeah. Life's too short to be miserable. And I know a lot of people like maybe don't have, I know I used to hate when people would tell me that. I got told that in a Yelp review one time. And
wait, somebody Yelp reviewed like your stand-up set?
When I was bartending.
Okay. I thought literally they saw you. They're like, his crowd work was subpar. I got asked no questions. 2 stars.
Were dry and watered down.
No, here's the best part. So I was bartending on Thanksgiving Day. Okay. I worked at a very high-end hotel in Los Angeles, so we were open 365. You know, the bars in most hotels are open 365 days a year. You gotta, support the people staying there. And if you're alone in a hotel on Thanksgiving Day, guess what? You're probably gonna want to drink. You're gonna want to have a couple.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So most of the staff, you had to pull short straws, and you either pulled Thanksgiving or you pulled Christmas. And that year, I just so happened to pull Thanksgiving, and so I'm working by myself on Thanksgiving, and that means I have no bar back, I have no waitress. It's just me and a manager, right, to help make sure that whatever. It starts getting really busy, right? And I'm a one-man band. So add on to that, I have to run the music. Well, you guys know me. It's going to be yacht rock. It's going to be classic rock. Yeah. It's going to be 90s hip hop. It's going to be a crazy smorgasbord of music. It could go from Dr. Dre to Journey, and people be like, wait, what's the transition there? I'm like, don't worry about it.
And they're going to thank you for it.
Well,
yes,
most people, except the guy that wrote my Yelp review. Okay.
Oh my God.
So I wake up, listen, I'm working by myself. By the time 1 a.m. rolled around, the bar had started to slow down. I had a couple cocktails led to a few more cocktails. Before you know it, the day after Thanksgiving, I wake up at about 4 p.m. in the afternoon, like, whoa, that was a long night. Okay. So I wake up and I have about 30 missed calls from my manager and text, what did you do? Read this. What happened? Because there was a Yelp review, and it was a solid paragraph of a Yelp review. And it's like, went to blank bar, and the bartender, Josh, was not only rude, but inconsiderate of the people around him. When I asked him for a glass of wine, he poured me an average glass of red that was $15. Okay. I don't have the ability to change the price of the drink. I don't charge that.
Not your fault.
I don't charge that. When I asked him to change the music, he said, no, thank you.
That's pretty incredible.
Tell me
this is framed somewhere in your house.
Oh, dude, it's got to be somewhere. I don't know where it is, but then it goes on and on. And then at the end, he's like, if you don't like your job, quit. And I was like, hey, I don't mind it. I being a bartender. But if I'm running around and you don't like your red wine that you ordered and you don't like the music, that's not on me, dude. No. That is not on me. That's not on me at all. I didn't get fired, but my boss was like, let's maybe when somebody has to change the music, you just don't straight up say no, thank you.
Ruthless Cutie in the chat says 1 out of 5 stars. Too many colonoscopy jokes while making drinks. That's very good.
All right. Let's go with you, Dees. One more thanks. What you're thankful for, Ray. One more thanks. And then we'll do some trivia, and then we'll get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, again, we take so little seriously on the show that when we shift gears into something that we mean, it sounds contrived and ridiculous. I am profoundly grateful for the fans. This is a league built for fans, by fans at core. All of the people making this are very into sports. I think there's another way to do it. We're in a competition. And we are fans of these things ourselves, huge fans. And I'm so grateful that folks watching the stream, that of the 29 million people that tuned into Fan Control Football Season 2 did so and participated and called plays and sees a future in fan-controlled sports, that it's not a competition with the NFL, that it's its own category. That pretty soon, just like there are VR video games and traditional video games, we are just going to be, there's going to be flat sports and then fan-controlled sports. And I'm so grateful to people that are early to this and are starting to build this with us, because the momentum has just been ridiculous. And to Josh's point, selfishly, I get to live my dream. My two favorite things on the planet are sports and video games. And, a third one is friends. And I get to do all of it together. And it's an incredible thing that I personally get to do. I don't take it for granted, not one single day, that I get to go and live my dream, because other people want to go build this thing with me. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the fans that are in this with us day in, day out, making Fan Control sports a reality.
I agree. You took it right out of my mouth. But I will say, in addition to that, I'm thankful for the players, because our players that we were able, not just our organization was able to draft, but the fans were able to, select guys and get players in a part of this league that not only they fell in love with, but we fell in love with, right? Like, we would have never ran into Andrew Jamil if it wasn't for the fans and the Jerky dudes back in the day. But for us to be able to have such quality players and men in our first, in our first sport, I can't wait to see what we're going to do with the rest of the sports that we get involved with. So, shouts out to my players, man. And I say, going back to what Dees is saying, that goes back to the fans. Like, look at all these other opportunities our players have been able to get. You know what I mean? We've got guys in the NFL. We've got guys in other leagues. Like, we should all, and I said this on a call, like, we should all, as an organization and a league, especially with fans, like, you guys call plays for players that are having other opportunities other places. Like, how dope is that? That would be my thankful.
And there's a lot of fans that have brought up players to us that we should get in our league. Without them, a lot of guys don't show up, right? A lot of guys don't actually make it to tryouts because people have reached out to them on social media, like, hey, you should go out for FCF. This is a league perfect for you, right? F3T Mule says, of course there's a future. This is Entertainment 2K. Agreed. I got to tell you guys, I texted Andrew Jamil on Friday, I think, last week, and I said, hey, our episode last week has a ton of views. Again, congrats on XFL, but you're coming back for season 3 of FCF, and we will not take no for an answer.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, dude, I was just going to say, I want to come back. And he was texting me this. We were texting back and forth. I want to come back in season 3, and I want an ownership stake in the Glacier Boys. And I want to be the first ever owner player.
Yeah, let's go.
And you ever seen the Will Ferrell movie with the Flint Tropics? Where he plays the basketball guy.
Yeah, the basketball. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can see
your coach, owner, and power forward, Jackie Boone.
Was that semi-ball? Was that
semi-pro? Semi-pro. Your owner, coach, and wide receiver, Andrew Jamil. There you go, dude. Like, that is so friggin' funny. Yeah. Man, I love talking to you guys. I love that with the fact that we got to do this on a Tuesday, leading into this holiday week. And then we'll be back, obviously, all through December. We'll probably do something similar around Christmas if we can. Schedules get a little crazier during Christmas, but we'll try and do something. All right. I wrote out one category of trivia. What? One category of trivia. This is for both of you. Okay. I looked up. I've never done this before. I looked up who the passengers were on the Mayflower. Okay. I've never looked this up. Okay. So these would be the first pilgrims. Okay. That made their way from wherever, I think England or wherever, and to the New World. Okay. And they started the colonies. We know guys like Miles Standish. We know that guy, right? He was one of the first dudes. Okay. These are people's names on the Mayflower. Okay. Now, they're either people that were on the Mayflower or people I made up, of course. Okay. So we start with Dees.
All right.
Let's go. Dees. These are pilgrims on the Mayflower. Patrick Dees, was James Chilton on the Mayflower?
No chance.
Of course he was. Don't you remember James Chilton? He's a blacksmith, and he came over on the boat with his wife and 4 children, and they sailed across the open waters and made it to Plymouth Rock.
I felt if I said that no chance confidently enough that it would change your mind. You'd be rattled. You're like, maybe he wasn't. No. Yeah.
Although his name is Chilton, he is not related to Jason Chilton.
Of Mike
Chance.
There you go.
There you go. All right, Raymond, was a man named Richard Britteridge on the Mayflower?
No.
Of course he was. Dickie Britteridge. Of course, Dick Britteridge, a.k.a. Richard Britteridge, was on the Mayflower, along with his servant and wife, who he says ruined the trip for him. All right. Patrick, was Brent Hildent on the Mayflower?
He not only was on it, he was like the MVP of the Mayflower. He was running shit.
Unfortunately, Brent Hildent is a guy that I went to high school with. All right.
No, I think you're mistaken, Josh. You might want to go back and go do a little bit of homework because that guy was on point.
All right, Raymond. Still 0-0. Was Desiree Minter on the Mayflower?
Minter. I would say yes.
Raymond, you are correct. That is the first one that we've had on the Mayflower. Desiree Minter was the servant of one Edward Cockeraw. All right, here we go. Patrick, losing 1-0, was Francis Crocker on the Mayflower.
That is an unfortunate name. Yeah, he was on. He was there. Nope, he wasn't on. That changed my mind. I think he's not.
Patrick, Francis Crocker was not on aboard the ship. Was not aboard the Mayflower. There's a real crock of ship. No. All right, here we go. Raymond still leading 1-0 from a defensive back for the Tennessee Volunteers. I volunteer you this information, Raymond. Was John Crackstone on the Mayflower?
Of course.
Of course he was, and he had a cracking good time upon the Mayflower. You must not split a stone, you must crack a stone, and everybody knows this. All right. Patrick Dees, was John Goodman on the Mayflower?
I hate that one of my best friends growing up was John Goodman, and it's come up in this conversation.
I know. When you said it, I was like, oh my God.
Because now this could go either way.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah, he was there. He was having a good time. He was entertaining.
Of course he was. John Goodman aboard the Mayflower. Later, his great-great-great-grandson would play Dan Connor on the show Roseanne. All right. 2-1. Raymond.
Can I get a Jerome? Can I get a Jerome or something?
Oh, here we go. This could be close. How about Oceanus Hopkins? Was Oceanus Hopkins aboard the Mayflower?
He was there, and he better not be no damn servant.
You are right. Oceanus Hopkins was, of course, aboard the Mayflower. He ran the sails and was at one point brought to Rear Admiral. All right. Oceanus Hopkins, 3-1. Ray has won, but we have 2 more left just for old time's sakes here. Upon arriving at Plymouth Rock, was William Button on the ship Patrick?
No, not at all.
Oh, his friends call him Billy Button. Of course he was on the ship. Yes, William Button.
I'm so bad at this.
One of the great passengers of the Mayflower. And finally, Raymond, was Alice Rigsdale on the Mayflower?
Yeah, Rigsdale?
Yes, of course. Alice Rigsdales of the Shropshire Rigsdales was aboard the Mayflower as they made their way to the New World. And that has been your Thanksgiving trivia, brought to you, of course, by Twitch's Guest Star Week. Guest Star, that's how we appeared on the show today and how we made twitch.tv/fan-controlled sports' Thanksgiving special a reality for all of you fans.
That was the commitment to the bit, Josh. I thought no way when you did the first one in that voice. I'm like, yeah, that was great for one round. There's no way he keeps that up, and he just kept blowing my mind. Yeah.
That's a tough one. That was a tough one. Well,
this is fun, guys. I'm glad we did this week instead of just missing a week this Thursday.
So. I know. Before I let you guys go, I got to tell you, next Saturday, December 3rd, myself and Ken Knapsack will be opening for our buddy Mark Ellis, Patrick Dees. He's recording his 1 hour special, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. at Dynasty Typewriter Theater in Los Angeles, California, 7 p.m. And 9:30 p.m. MarkEllis.live for tickets. If you would like to be there, Ken and I will do about 10 to 15 minutes up top. Mark does an hour, and then we'll do it all over again at 9:30. I haven't been on stage in a little bit, so if you want to be in LA and you want to come see the show, it's going to be a great time. I promise you that. Meet and greets, drinks, all of it.
You know what I'm doing December 3rd. That's fantastic news. I didn't know that. That was a surprise to me. I will see you there. So,
hey man, listen,
I
love this all the time. That comedy hustle is probably the hardest hustle. I've seen it done by so many guys in Chicago, and from acting to modeling to football or sports, the comedy hustle is like way up there, man. So shouts out to you, bro. I ain't
Thanks,
know that.
buddy. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Those are my two best best buds in comedy. We started together. And, Mark is crushing it, and Ken and I get lucky enough to get asked to do these shows with him. We go on the road with him and all that kind of stuff. So, it should be a really good time. Next Saturday, December the 3rd, 7 o'clock and 9:30 p.m. MarkEllis.live. This is twitch.tv/fan-controlled sports. We miss you, Jeff Kanata. Everybody have an amazing Thanksgiving. If you don't have anybody to have Thanksgiving with, or you're whatever, reach out to us on social media and just say, hey, and we'll get back to you. Just say hey back. Nobody should be alone on the holidays. That's all. True. For Patrick Dees, founder of Fan Controlled Sports and Entertainment, Ray Austin, founder and commissioner of Fan Controlled Football, I'm Josh McCouga. Power to the fans.
Power to the fans. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.